Hello, everybody. This is Beth from Parent Lightly, and today I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to use Google Calendar. This will help you organize everything in your life. It'll help you keep track and you won't forget things. So definitely rely on your calendar. So I'll show you how to create an event and how to link to other calendars as well. And I'll tell you how I use the voice commands on my phone when I'm in a situation where I can't actually get to my calendar, but I need to remember something. So I'll go through all of that. Okay, so an important thing to know here is that it's really nice to share calendars if you have somebody, a friend or your partner who also has a Google Calendar. So to do that, you can go over to this box here and simply type in their name or their email address, and it'll find their calendar. And if their calendar is public, it will automatically show up here on your calendar, and you may have to request access. Now, I'm not actually going to do this because it populates a dropdown, and I want to protect the privacy of the people on my contacts list. So I'm not going to show you, but you just click in this box right here on the left-hand side underneath the mini calendar, and it'll allow you to search for a friend. This is really handy. So another great feature of this, kind of the main thing that you do, is adding events. So there are a couple of ways you can do this. The first is simply to click on the spot in the calendar that you want to add the event. So maybe I click on 12 p.m. on the 25th, and it'll populate this quick ad. And so maybe I'll call this lunch. If I wanted to see more options, I could click on more options, but for now, I'm just going to save that, and it'll give it the default color. Another way to add an event is to click on the plus sign at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen down here, click event. Now this will open up the full event window for you to edit. So I'm actually going to set this up as softball game. And let's put it on a Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Okay, so just going down the list here, you can add a couple of different pieces of information. One thing that you can add is the location. You can actually search for a location and it'll find it via Google Maps, which is really cool. You can add conferencing. I don't use that very often. I think it's Google Hangouts. Yep, Google Hangouts. So if you are going to be meeting with somebody over video or audio, you can add that here. Notifications are very important. So something that I tend to do is I'll add a notification immediately before an event. So let's say for the softball game, maybe I need let's say a 30-minute notification so I know when to go. But I also like to add a notification for, let's say, one day before the event. So that will remind me the night before that I need to pack up all my gear. I need to get cleats and bats and gloves and all that good stuff. I do this a lot. Rather than creating two different calendar events, I'll just create multiple notifications for the same event. Another example is for my kids' picture days. I'll usually put a notification the night before to remind me to pick out their clothes, and then a notification the morning of to remind me that they should put on their nice outfits and get their hair done, and I'll be all ready for picture day. So notifications are very, very handy. Now, color coding is another great feature of Google Calendar. It's really, really handy. So one little trick that my daughter's soccer coach taught me was to color code events, sporting events like this, to the color of the jersey that they need to wear. So, for example, if this softball game requires a red jersey, I could just color code this to red using this drop down here. And then I would remember that I need the red jersey for this softball game. I can add the visibility here. So it'll default to whatever you've set it to, which is usually visible. You can drop down here and select public, so anybody at all can see this. Or if it's something you don't want people to see, like a doctor's appointment, you can select private, and no one will be able to see it. Even if people can see your calendar, they still will just see this as blocked out. They won't actually see what's happening. And then you can change how you appear on your calendar as well. You could change it to free or busy. So, for example, if it's something that isn't really something that you're going to be busy for, it's just a reminder for you, like maybe a reminder that your mom's birthday is tomorrow, then you don't need to be marked busy for that. You can just set free, and that way it'll still show up on your calendar, but it won't show that your time is blocked. If you need to add information down here, you can. So you could always say, bring snacks, if it's your snack day, for example, or any other information you want, you can add down there. Okay, so one thing that I do all the time is I will add guests. So I'm not going to click on the dropdown again because it pre-populates and I don't want to show my contacts' email addresses. So I'll just tell you about the guests function. So this is just like adding people to a meeting invitation in Outlook, which a lot of people use for work. So you basically can add anybody you want, any email address. And so what I'll often do here is I'll add my husband so he knows what's going on. I might add my in-laws. They live in town and they might want to go to a game or an event. So maybe I'll add them. If it's something personal that's happening during work hours, I usually add my own work email address and my husband's work email address as guests. So it will appear on our Outlook calendars as well as our Google calendars. So sometimes I have a lot of guests on these, but that just makes sure that everybody can see the event and everybody knows what's going on. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save this task. Okay, one more thing you can do with tasks, which is really handy, is recurrence. So let's say every Wednesday you have a massage, lucky you, at 8 a.m. So to do that, you just create the event, give it a title, massage. Go ahead and pick the first day it happens. So Wednesday, 8 a.m. And then what you want to do is where this dropdown says does not repeat, just click on it. And it'll give you a couple of pre-populated options. So you could pick daily, weekly on Wednesday, monthly on the fourth Wednesday, annually on September 26th. For example, there are lots of options. In this case, I'm going to select weekly on Wednesday because that's when it recurs. And so then this one, if I save it, will appear on this Wednesday and on the next Wednesday and on every subsequent Wednesday. If you wanted to modify that, maybe it's only for the next couple of months, let's say, you could select custom. And then you could select an end date. So let's say it ends on at the end of the year, December 26th. Okay, so then it won't extend into infinity. It will end on December 26th. I hit done. Okay, so this is an easy way to add something if it occurs at the same time every week or on a recurring basis, then you can just make it a recurring event. Okay, so I edited this event. So now it's wondering, okay, do I apply this to just this one event or the whole series? And I will say all events. And okay, and it'll update those. Okay, so recurrence is super handy. One other thing you can add in the desktop view is a task. So if you again click on this little button down here, you can, actually it's not in here. So if you click on a spot here, let's say 7 a.m. on the 11th, it will give you a choice of adding an event or a reminder. So if you click reminder, just scooch over there and it will say, let's see, take out trash. Okay. And then it will pop up a reminder for you on October 11th at 7 a.m. to take out the trash. So this is great when it's, again, something that's not really, it's not taking up a block of your time, like an appointment, but it's just something that you needed to be reminded of at a certain time on a certain day. And you can repeat if you want. So every Thursday on your trash day, you could be reminded to take out the trash and hit save. So you can also set reminders on your phone. So I have a Google phone, and I'm not quite sure exactly how it works on an Apple, but I think you can do the same thing on an iPhone. So with my voice commands, I can simply say, create a reminder for 7 a.m. on Thursday to take out the trash. And this will automatically be created on my calendar from my phone. So another thing that I might do is if I have an event, like I make a doctor's appointment, let's say, and I'm not at my desk or I'm not in a position where I can write on my calendar, like maybe I call the doctor's office while I'm in the car and I make an appointment for Friday the 12th at 11 a.m., but I can't stop and enter that into my phone calendar right away, then what I'll do is I'll use that reminder functionality to remind myself to add that event to my calendar. So I'll say something like, create a reminder for 10 a.m. on Wednesday to add doctor's appointment to my calendar for Friday the 12th at 11 a.m., something like that. So I'll set the reminder for a time when I think I'll be sitting at my desk or sitting down somewhere and able to add that event to my calendar. So that's a great way to remind myself to add something to my calendar later so I don't forget things. Okay, I think that's it. I think I captured the most of the things that I do on Google Calendar. So try it out for yourself. Send me a note. I'd love to hear what you think, how you use Google Calendar. If you have a trick I don't know, definitely send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Have a good one. Bye.